Well, there you have it. Just to clear the air about what's playing out. But what more do we have for you on the show today? Well, we can tell you that some leaders in the People's Democratic Party met with former President Goodluck Jonathan. Now, will he be the glue that fixes the PDP, or maybe the fix-it factor for the party? We'll be finding out from someone who was right in that meeting. What was discussed? What are the expectations? Well, we'll let you know on the show today.
Speaking of expectations, to be or not to be, rumor or confirmed intention, Governor Abba Yusuf's purported defection to the APC continues to be a point of discussion. One of his aides will join us to uncover what's really going on. So stay with us for that one.
Oh, yes. And we'll be taking you on a ride on the show today. This time on a superbike. A Nigerian lady who went from Nigeria to Europe and came back all on a motorcycle and all in one piece to raise awareness for cancer joins us, and we have a special side for you on the show today. You don't want to miss this.
Someone is going to be on a bike today on the program, but that's not me. So stay with us for that one coming up very soon. All right, let's get right into the papers. And journalist and member Nigerian Guild of Editors, Mr. Igo Akiria, joins us now on the program. Mr. Akiria, very good to see you in Abuja finally, and a Happy New Year to you, sir.
We call a Happy New Year to you, and of course, Karade. I was just enjoying your conversation on the Super Eagles that is making every Nigerian proud in spite of the tension that we are all in. But that's a good thing happening, and that's a positive. So Happy New Year to you, Happy New Year to Nigerians once more.
Yeah, and it's very reassuring that all of those rumors about Victor Osimhen signing out and returning to his club, have been laid to rest, and Victor is training in camp. But let's get into Vanguard newspaper, which will be our very first this morning. And it leads, of course, with the biggest talking point in Nigeria, especially in the last 1 year, the matter of insecurity. Terrorists on rampage in Kwara, Katsina, Kaduna, many abducted. Demand 300 million naira ransom for 7 abducted in Kwara. Kidnap photojournalist in Kaduna. Bloodbath averted. 3 IEDs uncovered in Mashegu local government area of Niger State. And so, Mr. Akiria, it appears as if as much as the armed forces are recording successes, there's also new emerging security threats to deal with.
Yes, absolutely. If you look at what is happening in Nigeria, it befuddles everyone. For me, I'm bemused as to really what is happening. This is not the Nigeria that I grew up. This is not the Nigeria that I know. With very strong, defense institution, whether it is the police, the army, the navy, and the air force. And of course, we now have the DSS, formerly the SSS, and the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Force. So why do we still have so much insecurity in the country? The governor of Kwara State, you can barely hear him say anything. Governor Abdulrahman Abdulrazak. You just can't hear him say anything. He doesn't come out to reassure his people. And of course, the government will say that they've deployed the forest guards, troops, they are combing forest. Yet we still continue to see these kidnappings, these killings, this brazen demand for ransom, 300 million. That is brazen. That is an assault on our sovereignty. And in the first place, what is even sovereignty? When you have political leaders who, for now, they are on a wall, away without leave. Nobody knows where the president is allegedly in France, but he's not saying anything, he's not talking. Political leaders and, the entire political class appears to have suddenly gone quiet after the U.S. bombing of Lakurawas in Sokoto State. Everybody has just gone quiet, gone under the carpet, like dogs with their tails tucked in. So what at this point, we're at a crossroad as a nation. As for me, I think this is really the time. It is not about whether Christians are being targeted or a particular group of people are being targeted. The good thing now is that we have the United States working with Nigeria. If it is to have U.S. boots on the ground, so be it, because Nigerians are apparently very tired of what is happening. I do not think that our security forces lack the capacity. Politicians are playing politics with the lives of Nigerians. The vast resources of this country are being looted by the political elites, and so they are not diverting these resources to procure the kind of equipment, the right equipments that we can use in dealing with this situation. And of course, you also have ethnic and religious consideration. You are killing my people. It's our people that are, that are being wasted. So you see all of this emotional consideration in the midst of a debilitating national crisis that has placed Nigeria, in a hot spot that has almost made us a laughingstock in the Committee of Nations. It is worrisome. Look, if you look across the communities, the cities in Nigeria, we have able-bodied men. I just read a report now. The Nigerian Army has advertised for Direct Shore Service Commission recruitment. At the end of the day, who are those that find their way into the military? You find that even the lobbyists, the elites in society, find a way to place their children in these positions, and then they also tell their children not to take risk. So let us have people who are passionate about defending Nigeria get into the defense forces, the military, the army, the navy, and the air force. You can't have all kinds of subterranean consideration in our recruitment processes, whether in the public leadership recruitment, whether it is in the military, whether it's in the public sector. You have all kinds of corruption and considerations going on. All of these are a combination of factors affecting us as a nation. I feel very, very sad this morning. I am worried. Yes, the Super Eagles is making everybody happy. That is the only respite we're having as a nation now, that the Super Eagles is making everybody proud. The military, look at the numbers of, I think 9 soldiers or so were killed through an IED, improvised explosive device in Borno State just a few days ago. How long are we going to wait as a nation, having our men and women in the front line being killed by people who are supposed to be ragtag, people who are supposed to be taken out within a month or so, 3 weeks, 1 month? It's enough. So what is going on? Where is Mr. President? Where is President Bola Ahmed Tinubu this morning? If he's in France, he must return home. The country is burning. He cannot behave like the famous Romanian emperor whose roof was burning and he was just lazing away. Nigeria is burning. Nigeria is smothering in smoke and fire. The president, who is the commander-in-chief, must come back home and lead from the front. That is where we are as a nation today.
And I just recalled days ago a group calling for the appointment of an equally experienced retired military officer to support the efforts of the new Minister of Defense. So we hope that any serious-minded administration will be listening to all sides of the conversation. But beyond what is happening on at the theater of war, the Vanguard is also making us understand what's happening behind closed doors in homes as it relates to the tax laws. Mr. and Mrs. has something interesting this morning, Mr. Akiria. The wife says, "Leave me alone. I'm not in the mood for anything. This new tax law is affecting my business." And Mr. says to Mrs., "Is that why you want to tax my enjoyment?" So I will appeal to the Mrs. not to tax enjoyment as well.
Well, all is fair in love and tax, right? Well, this next one, the Guardian newspaper leads with another very concerning issue. And you take a look at the front page of the Guardian now. You see Nigeria's fuel and crude importation concern defies price war. In case you're wondering what's going on, let's try to walk you through the figures. Petrol imports soar to 1.8 million metric tons. That's highest in 12 months. Crude intake from local refiners fell from 6-month average. But how much do Nigerians get to buy petrol? Well, between 739 and 920, and that's despite or in spite of the fact that ex-refinery price reduction is at 699 naira, the price for ex-refinery. That's for Dangote refinery. So you wonder, what exactly is playing out? We're clearly not out of the woods yet with this back and forth in Nigeria's petroleum industry, Mr. Carrier. What more should we do, really?
Well, the petrol politics in Nigeria is another sub-point, in our national life. Dangote has told Nigerians at the onset of, during the flag-off of the Dangote refinery in Lagos, that that refinery, which is about, one of the biggest in the world, has the capacity, to satisfy, local consumption. And of course, there is this deal, this swap deal of, supplying Dangote refinery with Nigerian crude, and then that is supposed to bring down the prices and make the products available. So sustainability, availability, and of course for the purposes of cheap pricing of the product is something that most Nigerians were optimistic about. We look forward to it. Yes, at some point at the early stages when the Dangote refinery took off last year, prices came down, it stabilized. We must not forget that at some point the prices were just going up on a daily basis. You cannot be sure if you buy fuel in the morning, you cannot be sure in the evening how much you buy fuel. But with the operationality of the Dangote refinery, the price became stabilized. But now, nobody can put his finger on anything anymore, and the worst scenario that we are faced with as a country is nobody is actually speaking to the issues. The NMDRO and NOPRIC CEOs resigned, last month. We have new sheriffs running those two regulatory agencies. At some point, I thought that was going to bring some relief, but it appears the prices are going up again, and the crude supply to local refineries is dropping while import of the product is increasing. So why do we have to import finished product, that is fuel, refined fuel, from other countries when we have the capacity here? So what is going on? Are we having the petrol mafia back at work? Is it that they've been able to rally and mobilize their forces and their ranks, and they have once again taken over that sector? This is something that is of concern to many Nigerians. We thought that by now, January 2026, we should even have the prices coming down to about 500 naira, and then as the year wears on, the prices will continue to go down. But as it is, almost like the value of the naira that is just hovering around 1,430, 1,000. It's been there for a while. I thought that at some point, if people come down to 1,000 and begin to come down. So in Nigeria, anything that goes up never comes down. So it defeats the Newton law of nature, that whatever goes up must come down. But in Nigeria, it defies that logic and that physics principle. Once prices goes up in Nigeria, it never comes down again. Again, it comes down to the desk of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Where is the president? Why is everywhere quiet? Why is the president silent? Why is people silent? Is the country on autopilot? Who is running the country? The vice president is also not talking. Everywhere is quiet. There is a problem. I think maybe as time goes on, what is really going on will be revealed in full.
And there are quite a number of issues to address, Mr. Akiria. Speaking of issues, let's head to the New Telegraph, which is also drawing our attention to something that is brewing within Nigeria. Slum in domestic travel. Local carriers risk further contraction, fan data shows. And the data is contained in the rider. Local traffic dropped to 12.54 million from 14.52 million. Now, that's international travel, up by 8.4%. So it appears as if more Nigerians are traveling outside the country than traveling within the country. And surely this has many implications for many areas of our national life. Mr. Akiria.
Yeah, absolutely. If you don't need the newspaper, the New Telegraph that reported that is right on spot. I like to travel by road. I like to drive myself across Nigeria. But for some time now, I can't remember the last time I traveled by the roads with, you know, the risk involved in traveling on Nigeria road. So if I have the money, I fly. But now for a one-way ticket, that should take you for a two-way ticket. If you are flying to Delta, for example, maybe if you book 1 week ahead, you're going to get that for about 150,000, 167,000. But in the past, you can get that for two-way ticket in and out. So there's no corresponding increase in the income of Nigerians. So many people in the Utah just stayed back where they were. Many people didn't travel. Those that managed to travel, those that reached the road, they came back with very terrible tales and nasty experiences. For those that managed to travel by air, it drilled a huge hole in their pockets, in pockets of families. So yes, more Nigerians are traveling outside of the country to see greener pasture. That is just the way it is. You know, whilst within the country there's limited travel because there's income parity is not there. People are poorer. You know, don't forget, Nigeria is rated as one of the poorest countries in the world where there's multi-dimensional poverty. I do not think that people have gotten out of the wood yet. So many families are living within their small income, managing what they can. And that brings me to the issue of you know, the taxes that the federal government says is taking off this January. Many people have called for the suspension of that tax, and I think I align with those that are calling for that. People are just too poor to afford for that taxes. Talking about, oh, if you are earning 1 million, 10 million or thereabout, you are going to be taken out of the tax net. What about the other taxes? You know, 10,000 naira, they take 50 naira from transaction tax from 10,000, like that. You know, if you look at all across, electricity tariff here and there, they increase taxation everywhere. So Nigerians need a respite, you know, and at the time that the prices of goods and services have not come down significantly, that makes it affordable.
All right.
Nigerians need some kind of relief, economic relief, and for any government, that is the purpose of governance. The welfare of Nigerians has to do with access to food, access to goods and services,
Indeed.
access to electricity, and of course, petrol products that we have in abundance here at affordable price. That is, this electioneering year, I do not know what basically the APC will be telling Nigerians when electioneering campaigns kick off. But for now, I leave that to the politicians to deal with. I also need to make the point that the anachronistic political class, that is the old brigade that we're having, you know, running the political system, maybe it is time for them to retire, to have younger people coming in so that there can be innovative ideas to drive the new political order system.
2027 is upon us already, so we're going to know more about whether the old brigade will remain or they'll exit. But Mr. Akere, as far as the tax laws are concerned, I think you should be very wary of your transaction information until we get anything different from now. So we'll take a break now. Thank you so much, Mr. Akere. Mr. Akere is a journalist and member Nigerian Guild of Editors. Thank you for coming on the program.
It's a pleasure. Thank you, Bukola.
And so we'll take a moment now. When we return from this break, we'll begin our very first conversation. Stay with us. We'll be right back.